Hello, everyone. I'm Marty Janeski, and along with my buddy Ken Brown, we're your hosts of the Local Sports Wrap-Up here on Wyandotte Cable Channel 15. Today is October 21st, 2020. You can catch us on YouTube also. Ken, haven't seen you in a week. How was your week?
Week went really well, really well. I want to thank you for letting me say happy anniversary last week on the show.
I'm letting you. You can say whatever you want on this show, you know. Got to score points at home any way you could get them, right?
Yeah, it was a great day. It was a great day.
That's good. That's good. Well, football's crawling up the charts here. We've done week 5. They're doing a 6-week season. We start out, I got some scores. Riverview was 60 over 29 over Grosse Ile. Allen Park Cabrini 29-0 over Waterford, Our Lady of the Lakes. And Gabriel Richard I have at 42-14 over Bishop Foley.
Yep. And I got River Rouge, who were supposed to play Detroit Catholic Central. They ended up scheduling a game with Taylor High School, and they won 34-0. I'm sure that the game got postponed because of COVID. Southgate Anderson over Wyandotte in a forfeit. That was a COVID-related accident or incident.
Allen Park beat Etzel Ford 43-6. On that COVID, see, Southgate and Wyandotte were playing, right? And then Southgate could have rescheduled and had to play, but why not take the free W?
Yeah, they take the free W. They get to 2 and 3 in the conference, and maybe it connects the seeding for them the way they like for the playoffs.
Yeah, interesting, because Allen Park literally, you know, when they rescheduled the Wyandotte game a couple of weeks ago, and then they had to unschedule it, and they ended up getting a loss.
Yeah.
And they never even played.
Right, they got the forfeit to E-Course week before last. Yeah,
right.
You're right.
So New Boston Huron beat Flat Rock 41-16. Huron wrapped up league play with a dominant win over visiting Flat Rock last Friday night. To finish the regular season, Huron will visit Dearborn Heights Crestwood this week, and Flat Rock will host Ann Arbor Huron.
All right. Romulus Summit Academy beat Detroit Community in a charter school championship game for the West Side. Actually, the cool part is Terry Curtis had 2 touchdown receptions and an interception. The kid's a heck of a wide receiver and a pretty good defensive back. Next up for the Summit League Charter School Championship, Summit actually plays against Warren Michigan Collegiate.
Oh, okay.
And that'll be this Saturday.
This Saturday, and I think wide receivers would be good at a defensive back role because they kind of have an idea what the other wide receivers trying to do, the route they're trying to run. Yeah. Like the quarterback on our team says, you know, I know what they're trying to do.
Right.
So I can step right in front of the ball. Because, you know, in the pros, all those guys are on defense because they couldn't catch.
Because they can't catch, yeah.
That's right.
That's why he plays defensive back. I got you, yeah.
Woodhaven, 15-8 over Trenton. Woodhaven got a battle from visiting Trenton on Friday night, but wrapped up its league season with a victory. That puts them at 4-1. It was the 100th career win for Woodhaven coach Keith Christnagel, who I know. Keith Christnagel, who I know. He comes into the shop. Woodhaven. The Warriors will head to Temperance Bedford on Friday the 23rd, and that same night Trenton will be at Lincoln Park.
Wow, 100. That's a good milestone. I wonder how many years it took. I mean, it's 9 games a year, so you figure he's probably been there 15 years. They probably had a pretty decent program, I'd say.
It's Woodhaven.
Yeah.
They always have a decent program in whatever they do, it seems.
Right. After winning 2 games in a row, Melvindale actually took a loss Friday to Redford Union, 34-13. Melvindale is set to host Carlton Airport next this Friday in the season finale.
In Gibraltar, Carlson 14, Lincoln Park 6. Carlson escaped with a win on Friday night against an upset-minded Lincoln Park team. You know, Lincoln Park is 1-4. Carlson's 4-1. Next up for Carlson is a game at Wyandotte Roosevelt this Friday, if they get to play. And Lincoln Park will host Trenton the same evening. That might be a good game now. Woodhaven only scored 15 against Trenton. Carlson only scored 14 against Lincoln Park. They were getting blown out earlier in the year.
And you said they were 4-1, and Wyandottes going in at 3-1, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that could be.
That'll be a good
classic
game
battle.
here. Definitely a good game here, and I think Lincoln Park Trenton might be pretty good. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The high school game is what the high school game is. I haven't visited any high schools to know how things are going. The kids were back at school though. In Allen Park, they were back to school. I don't know if the high school's back, but the grade schools were. Because my employee has a 9-year-old, and she's back to school. But it's weird. She's like off 2 days and on 3 days or something. It's
less exposure. Yeah, I get it. They're doing in-face and out-of-face. Yeah, I spend my free time doing homeschooling with a couple kids, 8 and 11-year-olds. So.
How are your teaching skills?
They're begging for help.
Will you ever blame your teacher again, the kid's teacher, when something comes up, or are you going to say, "Oh no, I know what you're going through now"?
I definitely think with my son Nick that I'm understanding why it could be frustrating being a teacher. I respect him a lot.
And then multiply that by 25. You
Yeah.
know, each kid's got their own needs. Each kid's got their own personalities. You know.
And the craziest part, Marty, is if you think about it, it's probably 85 because they're switching classes so that they may have all of the third graders for science. They may have all the third graders for social studies.
In a
then they
different
got,
hour.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's deep, man.
I'll say this. I give all the teachers all the credit in the world because, first of all, you got to remember the kids' names. I coached 8 to 10 kids, you know, in softball I coached 15. And for the first 3 weeks, I've got a piece of duct tape or painter's tape, masking tape on their hat or helmet or their forehead if they're not wearing one, with their name written on it. So every time I look at them, I see that that's Julia, or I see that that's Kennedy, or I see that, you know, because I'm bad with names. I even do it with my bowlers.
Wow.
You know, I have to, you know, put a label somewhere on your back, you know, so I can, especially the new ones, because I want to be calling you by your name in a couple weeks.
Right.
I'm terrible with that stuff. Soccer district finals. Last weekend, 4 downriver area teams, 2 from the Downriver League and 2 from the Huron League were in action as Riverview tangled with Trenton, while Gibraltar Carlson battled the district host Chiefs.
Riverview 17-1 got on the board early with 2 goals in the first 3 minutes, both of them by Gustavo Soto. The 2-goal advantage carried them all the way to halftime. The 2 teams then traded each of the next 4 goals and scored in the second half when Riverview made it a 3-goal lead. Trenton 5-7-2 would answer and trim it back down, but leading 4-2, the Bucks rattled off 3 consecutive over the final, and they end up winning 7-2. Riverview's got just as good a soccer team as they do football, it appears. Yeah.
And then Carlson played Huron, and it was the first meeting of the 2 schools since 2017. And as they did 3 years ago, the Marauders again pitched another shutout of the district host to stay alive, winning 2-0. Both goals for Carlson came after halftime, and both off the foot of Alec Miley. The junior first broke the scoreless tie in the early stages of the 44th minute before adding an all-important insurance goal with just about 6 minutes to go in the game.
And that win helps Carlson and Riverview advance to face each other in the district championship game, which is tonight. The winner will take on the winner of Chelsea, district champion, in next week's regional round. So soccer's moving right along, and they're going to get into the regionals. And the game will actually be at Divine Child in Dearborn. So I would think that they got a little bit of a home field advantage. They're closer.
It seems to always benefit. But you know, that's why they play the game.
That's right.
That's why they play the game. Let's go to golf. I like golf. Let's go to golf. Played a little this weekend. It was wet. The states. New Boston Huron's Andy Martin. She led all the qualifiers at states from this region. She shot an 81, which is the top score among the golfers who qualified as individuals. And she was 8th overall, like I said. Not bad.
Well, Grosse Ile came away with 9th place finish for D3 states on Saturday up in East Lansing. Grosse Ile's Lily Bargerman led the team with a score of 77 and was 7th overall. So Lily played really well with the 77. She definitely would smoke me.
She would smoke me too. She'd be giving me strokes though. That's,
Yeah,
she'd be giving me strokes. Allen Park's Kirsten Gubis finished 8th among the individual qualifiers and 39th overall. And Riverview's Megan Rogers also competed at the state meet. They don't see where she landed, but she shot 118. She's got more work to do. As a team, Gibraltar Carlson competed at D2 and finished 16th. Haley Holby led the Marauders. She shot 87. She was 18th overall. And to qualify for states, Carlson finished 2nd at the region.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's all you can ask is for a try. What are you thinking? Tennis? You feeling tennis or track?
Let's do tennis because our Wyandotte boys went to states. Our Wyandotte kids, they got a great draw.
Okay.
They got a great draw at states. They were the 16th seed. They had to play the number 1 seed in the state of Michigan. Great draw.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It didn't work out too well for them, but they're there. You know, they'll be back. Grosville, Gibraltar Carlson, and Wyandotte Roosevelt headed to the MHSAA Boys Tennis State Final on Thursday, October 15th. All 3 of the local teams were defeated in the first round of action.
Yeah, it's just like the NCAAs. You never see a 16 beat a 1, so that was a tough spot, right?
Right, and the other 2, I mean, it was D2 and D1, I believe, or D2 and D3. But, yeah, I mean, they got a bad draw. Yeah. You know, they weren't, I'm sure, the worst team there, but the team, I believe, that won it, 3rd year consecutive.
Okay.
So they're a powerhouse in tennis. And
Definitely.
Who knows what else they're a powerhouse in up there.
All right.
But,
In Division 4, Grosse Ile actually fell 7-1 to Kalamazoo Hackett, Portage West, while in D2, Carlson was defeated 8-0 by Grand Rapids Forest Hill Central in Bay City. And as you mentioned, Wyandotte fell 8-0. So that was a tough one. For Grosse Ile, its lone victory came at the number 1 singles as Robert Standen defeated Hackett's Nicholas DeForest 6-4, 6-3.
nice.
So they took something back to the island. They got the
Their
number 1
number
singles.
1 beat their number 1.
Yeah,
That's
there
good.
it is. Yeah,
That's
we'll
good.
take that. Actually, Grosse Ile had advanced to the state by winning D4 districts, 54 title, and they beat Brooklyn Columbia 8-0 in the semis and topped Plymouth Christian 8-0. So they gave out their share of 8-0 lashings. Yeah, they did
A little bit of pounding.
Yeah.
Yeah, in D2, Roosevelt was up against, as I said, the reigning state champ Forest Hills Northern, which went on to win its 2nd consecutive D2 state title after sweeping the Bears 8-0 in the first round. Question, I'll be the guy who doesn't know. You're the number 1 seed on the team. How? Do you know how they do that? Could I play the number 2 guy if we go to a meet? Can I that day be number 2? Or does the one, you seeded 1 before you get there? Or when does your coach fill it out when you get there? These questions I'll have to ask Mr. DeSena.
Yeah, and I remember when back in the glory years, when I was in high school, the number 1 guy would definitely be the number 1 guy. He could beat the number 2 by miles and number, you know what I mean? So he was the number 1 singles player for your team. Now if they had someone that was equal at 2 and then they battled out through the week, it may be a little different.
So they're playing each other to be seeded. You're saying they have inter-team competitions all the time to see where you're going to get placed?
I would say yes, and probably more so for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th player. The number 1, you already know who your hoss is.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that. To earn a spot at the state meet, the Bears claimed the D2 District 20 championship. They topped Lincoln Park 8-0, and then as we talked about last week, they knocked off Trenton 5-3 in the semis. So that's there's only 8 matches. That was where we were strong in the doubles 3 and doubles 4.
That's right.
You got to have 12 good players.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like you were talking about that golf tournament earlier, where you can gain points in those game 2s or those second singles or first doubles or second doubles. You can gain points. You know, you might lose the 1, but if you can win the 2 and the 4, then then you get the points for that. So.
And when, see, like I can go back to relating to bowling because I know more how that works. I have 5 bowlers. You're the other team. Let's say you're my buddy Justin at Woodhaven.
Okay.
So you're on the left lane, so you have to put your 5 bowlers down how you're going to put them in the team event. We bowl 2 Baker games, no matter the score, 10-0. You could still, in the team game, win 20 points and win the match.
Okay.
So if you put your number 1, which usually your best bowlers bowl in 5th, but if you want to, see, I never played many of those matchup games until we bowled them for the league title. Then my girls were like, I want a piece of her, and I want a piece of her, and you're going to bowl her. And they were telling me who to put down, and I'm like, go for it, you know, and it worked. We won both matches. But yeah, there's no number one. He puts a bowler down, I put a bowler down. He puts a bowler down, I put a bowler down. And or he can put all 5 and I can just match them, however. But I get the matching choice because I'm on the right lane. We bowl twice a year. The next time we bowl him, he'll be on the right lane, and I'll be putting mine. And I had a lineup. I just threw it down there. You bring it, you know. I was one of those guys, just bring it. We got our bowlers.
Is it the total of the 5 bowlers that wins, though?
Yes. Well, you get a point for head-to-head, 5 points, and then you get 4 for the total pins.
Okay.
And then that's 9, and you get 9 for the second game, and then 2 for totals of both games added up.
I got you.
So
that's how they come up with the total number. I got you. That makes sense.
And so you just got to win 3 matches, basically. If you win 3 matches, you'll generally have the most pins. So then you'll win the extra 4 points. That's 7. Get 7 more the second game, and then the 2 added up, you're going to win both games. So then you get that extra 2. That's 16 points. That gets you over the top.
I got you.
15 and a half's the winner.
Okay, no matter what.
So I just wonder if in tennis you could put your number 1 like playing their number 3 because you want that point.
Yeah.
And you're sacrificing your number 4 against their number 1, let's say, and you move everybody down 1. I wonder if that's a strategy that's allowed.
I bet it is. Listen, I'm going to research it. I'm going to research it.
All right.
I'm on tennis research.
You see, theoretically, since George couldn't make it today, by the way, George, we love George. He's on quarantine. He wasn't necessarily exposed, but he was with somebody, and so he's being smart and he's staying home. And but does that mean next week's still yours? That you're the sub this week and next week's your week?
We're
going to have to see.
Sounds like wear your mask.
Wear your mask. Oh man, I was just yeah. You can't wear it enough around me.
Yeah, you got to wear it.
We wear it right until the camera comes on, everybody, and then we take it off. We talk. He's 8 feet away, and I try not to talk in his direction.
Yeah.
Track? Track.
All right. Woodhaven boys and girls finished first at the Downriver meet.
Shocking.
Wow. Yeah,
Shocking.
imagine Woodhaven. The Downriver League held its annual championship on Thursday at Lake Erie Metro Park. The event comes after all 8 schools in the conference conducted dual meets against one another during the season.
Well, after going unblemished in the league portion of the schedule, both the boys and girls teams, they swept both races on Thursday and secured the league title. It was a pair of Woodhaven runners finishing atop of each race, as Logan Lundgren placed first on the boys' side while Brianna Vojanov took first on the girls' side. On the boys' side, Woodhaven finished with 35 points, was followed by Southgate, Anderson, Trenton, Wyandotte Roosevelt was 4th, Gibraltar Carlson, Lincoln Park, and Edsel Ford.
The good news is Roosevelt got a pair of top 3 finishers with Michael McCooch being edged out by Woodhaven's Lundgren and Samuel Rankin. So some brothers beat him, placing 3rd. The rest of the Bears' top 5 consisted of Marquise Moji and Riley Green in 27th, and Joshua Sotomayor in 30th.
Yeah, from what I've learned about track is that if you add up the place that the first 5 first 5 runners that cross the finish line are at. So if you have a first and a second, that's 3 points. And like golf, it's low score wins. So all you need, like we had a 3rd place finisher, we got to get that kid some help. You know, if we can keep top 15, let's say get your 5 people in the top 20, you probably have a good chance of winning, I would think. but you get your top 5 in the top 10, you're gonna win. You know.
Yeah.
So that's. But then you also had 8 schools or whatever at this event, and which is way different, and so you got to know the number ones from the other schools are sliding in there somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Right. And if they're even telling you that this person finished 30th, there's at least 40 kids running, right?
Oh yeah, there's 70 running pretty much.
Okay.
Because all the schools there together. The Roosevelt we got the ladies at the bottom
Yeah, I
of
got
that?
the girls. On the girls' side, Woodhaven, which had 21 points, took
that's pretty
first at
good.
the meet and was followed by Roosevelt, which had 57. Carlson 63, Anderson 109, Lincoln Park had 133, Edsel Ford 158, and Trenton didn't qualify. Allen Park didn't compete in the
What was
event.
the difference, first and second?
The first place was
23,
21 to 57. So you got
46
6,
points.
36.
46.
36.
36.
Yeah.
30. So 21, 5 people added up to 21. That's almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 gets you 15. You know, holy cow. Roosevelt had a pair of top 5 performers.
Yeah.
Samantha Cost was 3rd and Aubrey Bogowski 5th, so that's 8 points. The rest of the Bears' top 5 featured Maya Green, 14th, Miranda Grant, 16th, and Paige Shinovar, 22nd. So that's not bad, 5 in the top 22. Yeah, Woodhaven
But that gets that 52 quick, yeah.
Yeah, Woodhaven obviously had, if only he had 21 points, man, that's like really good.
Yeah, they had
If you had a 10, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 10. That's 20. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty solid there, Woodhaven. Shocking that they're so solid. How about, I know that I printed up some stuff from the MHSAA, and South Lyon won their first girls golf title ever. And that was who finished on top at the state meet.
Okay.
And they, I guess the Forest Acres, no, not Forest Acres, the team that wins all the time, I want to say is like Okemos.
Okemos, yeah. It's really close to Lansing. It's a stone's throw from East Lansing. So I passed through there dropping people off at Michigan State.
Yeah, you got that. But, you know, interesting, my buddy's daughter golfs. He's a really good golfer, and he's got her into it as a 9th grader. And but she hasn't cracked that lineup yet for South Lyon. But I was looking at the numbers, and these girls, the worst girl on that team shooting in the 80s, you know. So makes it tough. And they had a one day, you know. They only had one day to compete. And the one girl started with three bogeys,
Okay.
first 3 holes. And then after starting at about the 7th hole, she ran off 5 out of 6 birdies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Forest Acres is no slouch track. Reading the greens alone to get the putt on line would have been challenging enough. But I'll bet they go there and play. I bet they get there enough time. South Lyon might not.
Yeah.
But some of them schools that are closer would.
No, 80, that's great.
Oh,
Wow.
I cherish all my 80s. I've broken it 5 times, but that was young Marty.
Okay.
This guy now, he's got no chance. Especially the track I'm always playing. It's a recipe to lose golf balls.
Yeah.
World Series is starting. How about them Lions? 2 and 3.
Yeah. I got a chance to see the World Series last night, kind of what we talked about last week. Kershaw did his thing. He won the game. I know he went 7 innings, and they won like 8-3. But when he came out, they only gave him up 1 run. So
he got a gift call in the very first inning. They had 2 runners on, and he got a borderline pitch to be called strike 3 for the second out. I'm telling you, you don't
need
get
that.
I know you need that, but if you don't get that call, he's going to fall into the same trap that he can't win the big games. Yeah. That was huge because he got that call. And the next guy grounded out, and they were out of the inning.
Yeah. And I'm glad, man, because if we sit back and we look at it, Kershaw could be the Buffalo Bills, right? The Dodgers could be the Bills and never win and get there all those years out of 8 years. And I just think he's a good pitcher, and I'd love for him to win one.
Yeah, and the things I read about what's going on, they had the best offense. The Dodgers are pounding the ball, averaging 5-6 runs a game, and over a 60-game season. And they've got some really good hitters, and it's going to be tough. I don't know anything about Tampa Bay. I know the hockey team won the Stanley Cup, and now their baseball team's in the finals. So that's.
And they got Tom Brady, so they're looking at all of them, and they host the Super Bowl.
Football team's got a
this year.
chance, yeah.
And they host the Super Bowl, so it'd be the first time that a team had an opportunity to play in their home stadium.
No kidding.
Well, I mean, if it happens, it wouldn't be the first time that it could happen.
Because the Silverdome hosted it, but the Lions
didn't
were
make
never
it.
going to get in there. Maybe, but maybe not.
Yeah, no,
And
it's a good shot.
Yeah, so that was good. Some good watching. The playoffs was good. 2 Game 7s. Yeah. To get there after who was it blew the 3-0 lead? Not Houston. They got Houston went down 3-0 and battled back.
Atlanta. It had to be Atlanta against the Dodgers.
They had them 3-0, didn't they?
Yeah, at least 3-1 for sure. I remember that. Yeah, they were young. I'm kind of glad the Dodgers won. Long story short, my nephew got drafted by the Braves, and so 10 years ago, and those are the same guys from the Braves that are playing. So I'm looking at it kind of like, I hope the Braves don't make it. But anyway, because he doesn't play there anymore.
Is he still in it? Or
no, he's done. He's grown up, and
I'll tell you, if you make it to the major leagues, though, you're set for life. Yeah. It's a nice gig. But those guys, like any level of pro sports, every guy thinks he was one bad coach for making it to the major leagues, or he was one, like in hockey especially, they all think they're one bad coach from making it to the NHL. It doesn't work that way. Don't forget to get a hold of us, localsportswrapup@gmail.com. Ken, it's always a pleasure. I believe George is going to have to stay out one more week just to be safe. I don't want to get rid of George either. People, wear your mask. This is my first prototype. It's a little narrow on the face, but it is my face.
That's right.
I've been putting all kinds of stuff on mask. It's funny, a guy comes in, he just takes a picture of his shirt pattern. He wants a mask to match his shirt pattern because he wants to look good. And it is an accessory. It's an accessory now, yes. Yeah. So get a hold of us, localsportswrapup@gmail. Watch us on YouTube, Local Sports Wrap Up on YouTube. This show will be posted by tomorrow there, Ken. I'll have it up there. Always a pleasure. Next week we'll talk Week 6 football results, and maybe the seedings will be out on who's playing who for the playoffs. So get a hold of us. Watch us on YouTube. And Mr. Brown, I will see you next week.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Hi, Mom.